There are worse things in life that are arguably worse than death. And being a level 10 lackey is one of them. Mage Arena is the thing that I'm going to be talking about today. So I've recently I've been like down on earth looking for games. I really want to have fun on games because, it's my summer break. I'm about to enter, my fucking third semester of college. Um, and I want to stretch my summer break as much as like Reed Richard got stretched out by Galactus in the Fantastic Four movie. And I've been looking out for games, but unfortunately, like many of us out there, we just cannot tolerate the fucking price tags of these things. Like I'm not about to drop fucking $500 on a Nintendo Switch 2, and on top of that, an adapter just so fucking Donkey Kong Bonanza doesn't glitch out on me and the fucking frame drops all the time. And then on top of that, pay $80 for the fucking game just for me not to own it because apparently Nintendo can just shut my shit down whenever they want. And just yesterday they fucking kiboshed a goddamn what was it, a charity event in Japan because they didn't get the permission to use the Nintendo license, and it is so fucking cherished, like Smog and his gold. Like damn, man, the greed of this fucking company is crazy. But thankfully there are not really third party but independent parties out there that are making really good fucking games, and they're not gonna break the bank. And Mage Arena is one of these games. I genuinely fucking enjoyed my time playing with it. I'm enjoying my time playing with it. I'm planning on playing this shit right after this fucking video. And you know, Mage Arena, it is kind of like Lethal Company in like the graphics quality, but it is a open mic, PvP game where one wizard clan goes on one side and the warlocks go on the other side. You can choose between wizard or warlocks, or sorcerers or warlocks. Um, and you two clash in the middle while you try to take multiple points like Bed Wars, and you also can take their base. Once you take their base, they cannot respawn, so the remaining teammates that are still out there have to reclaim their base for the rest of them to spawn back in, and if you kill them all while you have their base, you win the game. That's pretty much the whole premise of the game, but the enjoyable part is the open mic. I love it, but I also hate it. Let the police fucking pass by, apparently. But I'll keep talking while apparently someone is just getting slimed. They just got absolutely Swiss cheese. Yeah. So what I don't like about it is that they're, of course, free speech because we live in America, and apparently saying the N-word is the equivalent of saying fireball, and it's not something I condone. I don't like when people say racist slurs, and then when you tell them not to say that, they get really defensive. They're like, you're just a bitch. You're just a bitch. You suck. And you're just standing there like, okay. And it's your own teammate doing this. It's like once you spawn in, one of the flags are either the Confederate flag, the Nazi flag, Hitler's face, a woman with tits, I believe it was another, I think like a woman with censored tits, a white flag, horrendous racial stuff, just like fucking just shit, just straight shit, like you're just getting a horrible design flag. You'll get the occasional like wholesome flag where it's like a smiley face, a thumbs up, the American flag, just like any flag with like a country that's currently exists, fucking something innocent, or like a wizard with a hat. But most of the times you're gonna see horrendous flags. It's America. And yeah, it's cool. It's okay. I'm fine with it. But I'm not fine with like the racial fucking slurs. But what I am fine with is like saying like other things to say your spells. Like for example, Bite Blast is one of the things you can say to trigger fucking the optic beam blast or whatever the hell it's called. Dark Blast, which is one of the spells that you get in the game. Now, once you load up in this game, you have 4 spells. You have Fireball, Freeze, Worm, Hole, which are pretty much 2 spells in one, and you get Magic Missile. Fireball is just like, your average wizard. He's just gonna cast Fireball on you. You pull up to my crib, Fireball. You pull up near my tower, Fireball. You rage bait me while I'm on BC, Fireball, and it hits you a couple kilometers out. And that's a really fucking fun spell, but I wish there were more. And another spell is Freeze. Freeze is kind of like your sniper spell. I like to use it long range, but you really have to like track them, because when they're moving, it's a moving target, so you have to meet them in the middle and bah, hit them just like bah, you know. And it's really fun. It freezes them for approximately like 4 to 5 seconds, and it's an okay spell. It keeps them in place. You just have to wait for them to thaw out, and once they thaw out, they can't move for a second. So once they thaw out, you hit them with Fireball, because apparently a lot of people, what they do is they freeze people, hit them with Magic Missile and Fireball, but what they don't know is that it doesn't affect the person in it. It kind of the freeze acts like a shield, and once you Fireball them, it doesn't do fireball damage. It's more like they're getting damaged by the fire, like the effect after fireball, because the ground where the fireball hits, it's on fire for approximately like 7 seconds, and once you step in that, you get damage. You take a little damage reduction. And yeah, that's what freeze is pretty much is. And then wormhole is going to be your teleportation thing. So once you teleport, I don't know, you need to get back to your base while you're fighting, like in the middle of the map, you worm at your base, and then you hole to get back to your base. You're the only one allowed to go through that portal, unless it's your teammates that can also go through that portal. And that's what wormhole is. Now, Magic Missile is a seeking spell. It is one of the weaker spells, because it fucking tracks down your enemy. It's not like you're gonna like torpedo them and just do like crazy damage. At the beginning, it's one of the weaker spells, but at like the middle of the game, because the more the game progresses, the more stronger your spells get. Magic Missile becomes like the second strongest next to Freeze, because Freeze one-shots people if the game goes for more than like 10 minutes. Magic Missile does half, like almost 80% of their damage, while Fireball only still keeps it at 50. Magic Missile's a good spell. It's a great spell. If you jump into their base and you're trying to locate them, you Magic Missile into the sky, and it'll track them wherever they are in the base, and then you're just like, you're cautious while you're in there. It's kind of like a locator, kind of, right? And then those are the 4 spells that you have in your book. Now there are more spells. There is Thunderbolt, there's Rock, there's Dark Blast, there's Wisp, and there is Blink. Now, Blink, it's your teleportation spell. You teleport like 10 feet away from wherever you're looking. Dark Blast, you literally just laser beam anything. It is a one-shot, but it's very hard to land, because once you say it, there's a delay, and it really depends on like your computer listening to it. It really depends on like if it's listening to like what you just said, and if you really like get a good mic, you can land those. But if you have like a middle of the road mic to a shitty mic, you're never gonna land those. Those are really hard to land. Now there's Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt is pretty much Fireball, but a quicker Fireball. It does around the exact same damage, and it hits players hard as hell, and it is loud as hell too. And then there's Wisp. It's pretty much your locator. You're gonna locate your enemy. It follows them, and you find them. It doesn't do much besides blind them for a bit. It makes their screen white. It just disorients them for like 3 seconds. And then you have light, or divine light, which is pretty much your healing spell. And you have to go to the middle of the map or one of the castles, a red castle, to get any of these extra spells, by the way. So yeah, that's pretty much all of the extra spells. Oh yeah, and rock, you pretty much summon a boulder. It hits people into the air and they take fall damage, or you can use it to like block your base's entrance for like 20-ish seconds. And it's pretty effective. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good spell. And now for the weapons, you have a lot of weapons. The strongest of the weapons is one you cannot craft, and that is Excalibur. It is a one-shot weapon. You get to keep it once you die, but I forgot to mention, all of the spells I just mentioned, besides the ones in your book, you lose those once you die. Once you die, you lose those spells, and if the player that killed you doesn't fireball your dead body afterwards, they can pick it up. But if they do, they burn the spell. It's gone. Also with the other items that get fireballed, they also disappear too. So the items, Excalibur is a one-shot weapon you can only get in the graveyard, and it is a really good weapon. You have to fight a kind of a boss to get it. Pretty easy. You get it, you fucking stab people, and it fucking one-shots them. It kills people. You do have to be pretty tricky with it though, because people, the more they play the game, the more noticeable they can just, fight off your Excalibur. They fireball right in front of you, and they push themselves back, and they can ice you and kill you while you're trying to fucking stab them with about like 3 feet of sword, right? And one of the best ones, definitely one of the best weapons. Now, for the smaller weapons, you can craft these with wood, stone, gems, mushrooms. One of the good weapons is the mushroom staff. The mushroom staff, it allows you to jump wherever you're aiming. If you aim down, you jump up. If you aim at an enemy or a teammate, it sends them fucking flying around like 30 feet off, a whole hexagon away. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. The second weapon is the frog sword. This is the weakest one. I genuinely hate using it. It sucks. The third one is the frog kind of grappler. It's a frog on a stick, but the frog, the tongue protrudes out and grabs whatever the enemy or ally is holding, like their spellbook. You can literally snatch the spellbook out of their hands mid-fight. And while they're disoriented trying to look for it, you fireball them. The smoke disorients them. It doesn't burn the book when you fireball it. The books are immortal. If you die, you get your book back. So yeah, another one is the frog dart, I think it's called, or just the dart frog. This one kind of sucks. It's really hard to it's really buggy. When you hit people, it doesn't disorient them, no, like at all. Like sometimes it just doesn't work. I've been hit by it so many times. I remember even making peace with the guy to test it out. It doesn't work at all. He kept like hitting me, and it just didn't disorient my screen. It didn't do anything. Now I just killed him afterwards, and it sucks. The frog dart kind of sucks. And I think the golem could be a weapon. I'm not sure, but the golem is something you craft with a stone and a gem. It's a small little long-nosed golem around like 2-ish, 3-ish feet high. It has like gems in its stomach, and it can like spit out these gems to deal damage to enemies, kind of like a pet companion where it deals damage to whoever you're fighting. It's really slow. It kind of sucks unless you have like an army of 3 or more, and you're defending the base. But other than that, it's like an okay, thing. And more now for the technical, weapons or accessories you can craft. One of these things is the shrinker mushroom, gems and a mushroom, and it's kind of like a gun, but you shrink people with it, and they get a squeakier voice, and they have less health. Once you fireball one of these shrinked guys, they die instantly. It's I thought it was more of like they sneak past people, but once they fireball you, you die. You lose your health. You have less health than you originally did. And then another one of these cosmetics is, or not cosmetics, these accessories or whatever, is the frog balloon. You can jump up. It's a balloon, an inflated frog. I believe it's a piece of wood and a frog, or no, it's like a gem and a frog or something like that. And you can just jump up, and you jump higher than you usually do. You can jump past a castle wall with this. And then my favorite of the craftable accessories would be, what is my favorite? The levitation staff. The levitation staff, you point down, you press your left mouse button, and you start flying. You start flying, and you're just enjoying your time flying. You can fly past, but you can only fly for approximately 20 seconds. Then the staff decharges. It has like around a 10-second cooldown, and then you can go back into the air. It's really slow. It's like the same speed as walking speed in the game. But it's really fun to just get away from enemies that are trying to, like, fireball you. And you do take fall damage if you let go, and it's really hard to get the staff back to, like, grab you so you can levitate again. So you can die doing it. And yeah, those are all the I think there's more, but these are the more important ones that you're going to want to know about. And that's pretty much it, except for one thing. Yeah, there's a lot of botted lobbies and a couple hackers in the game. One of the more notorious ones that I've run into like twice is someone called Wizard God. I think he's a dev because he is immortal and he can drop whatever weapon you want. He doesn't really interact with you or fight with his team or against his team. He's just there to monitor the things. He just kind of looks around. He is a mortal, and he will fight you if you like try to fight him. He will give you a warning though. You can't kill me, but I can give you something. He'll give you Excalibur. He can drop Excalibur. He can drop any spell known in the game that you have to get in the castle or in the caves. He's immortal. He has just so much health, and he can give himself more health like during the game. This is one of the more calm hackers or devs. I think he's a dev. I really don't know. But yeah, he's the first and only hacker I've ever encountered. And there are other games where you think they're hackers, but you did not read the text when you go into the game. These are botted lobbies. They can say fireball like 6 times and like throw 7 fireballs at you. The math doesn't math, but that's just how it works because the mic thing, it echoes sometimes. And they just like kill you instantly, or they freeze you like from a couple kilometers out, and it tracks you down and it just fucking kills you. They instantly have Thunderbolt out the gate. Everyone has Thunderbolt out the gate. And then you just start fucking thundering things, and it kills you one shot. Or, these are botted lobbies, And that's pretty much it for the game. That's all I have my gripes for the game. It's a good game. It's a really good game. It's only $3 pretty much in the Steam shop, and I highly recommend it. I believe it's made by the same guy that made Lethal Company, and great job. He did just back-to-back bangers, man. Just straight bangers. These are like pretty low effort, graphic games, but gameplay wise, you'll have a lot of fun. You'll definitely have a lot of fun, unless you encounter like a couple racist or just like fucking anti-Semitic people, or just like, people that just are gonna say some shit that isn't comfortable with a lot of other people that are just trying to have fun. You'll encounter them, but you can just walk away. It doesn't really matter. You won't see them for a couple of minutes while the game is happening, and if you're lucky, they'll be the first one to get slimed out by the enemy team. Yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya. Oh yeah, and another thing, Mage Arena constantly has like buggy situations where you can't join a lobby because a lot of people just make lobbies and then leave. It's tough. It's tough. Sometimes you gotta refresh the app to just play the game sometimes. And yeah, drink your water. See ya.